Hello, today I'm here to discuss a very important thing about the UPSC. The thing which I'm going to discuss here, the questions. The question which is going to be related with the UPSC, especially from the optional, right? The optional which I'm going to take here, the geography. Okay, so here I'm going to discuss the geography optional paper, and in geography optional paper I'm going to discuss the May 2023 paper, right? And in that paper I am going to talk about a very important question which was asked in the paper, right? So the directly I'm just coming to the straightway to the question, what the question is and how the question will be understand and how the question will be approached while writing the answer, right? So now we'll start the question. What are the causes of the origin of local winds? The question which I have just given you, what are the causes of the origin of local winds? This is the first part of the question. And the second part is asking, discuss their significance on prevailing weather and climate in various regions with suitable examples. Means this question which I had mentioned here, that was asked in the mains 2023 in the geography optional paper, and the question is, what are the causes of the origin of local wind? This is the first part of the question. So here we have to talk about the causes of the local wind first. In second part of the question, what we are going to take, discuss their significance. So here we will talk about the significance, the importance of prevailing weather and climate in various regions. Means every regions which are having their unique phenomena in the form of the local winds, and how these local winds are impacting their social phenomena, also their economic phenomena, also their, particularly if you talk about the question, they are also asking about the main significance of the local climate in these particular regions. And here to prove that regions, to show these reasons, we have to give the example, right? So this is the question, and now we'll move how we can approach this question. Next, see, I again write this question. I write down this question here. What are the causes of the origin of local winds? So one thing, it is clear that this question is being asked from the local wind. This question is related to the local wind, and this local wind topic is taken from the classification of wind. This topic has been taken from the topic classification of wind. So if you have studied this topic, you might have studied that they were the three types. They were of three types. And these three types were, first was the prevailing wind. The first one was the prevailing wind, or say permanent wind. The second, which we talk about the classification of wind, is the seasonal wind or monsoony wind, right? And the third, when we talk about the classification of wind, is the local wind. So I suppose you have got the gist of this question from where this question has been asked, right? Means this question has been asked from the classification of wind. So the first part we cracked this question, that the causes of, means now we'll talk about the causes of the origin of local wind, how these local winds originated, right? If we talk about the prevailing wind, these are the three types. You might have remember the trade wind, the westerly, and third one is the polar easterly. Polar easterly. These are the three types of the prevailing wind. If we talk about the seasonal wind or monsoonal wind, they are again they are of few types. Like first one is the sea breeze or land breeze Second is the mountain or hill breeze or valley breeze and the third seasonal or monsoonal wind is known as monsoonal wind. So these are the category of the seasonal or monsoonal wind, which you have already may have studied from the differentiation of the classification of wind. So here we are going to talk, or we are going to focus on the local wind. But prior to the local wind, I had just given you the glimpse of this topic, because certain topics, certain concepts will be again carried into the local wind, because the formation of local winds, certainly they are also influenced by these things, right? So that is why I had just given you the gist of this entire topic. Now we'll talk about the local wind. Now we'll talk about local wind. I had just given you the background of this question. Now we'll directly focus on the local wind, how the local wind forms. See, the local wind are influenced by few factors, right? The first factor is the temperature and the second is the pressure, right? Now, how the temperature plays an important role and how the pressure plays an important role, I will discuss. See, from the temperature, there is a concept came in the name of temperature gradient. Temperature gradient. What is the temperature gradient? Means the temperature gradient is defined as the difference between the temperature. Means this is defined as a difference in temperature, and the line joining these different temperature are known as the temperature gradient. I'm again repeating it. The difference of the temperature and the line joining the temperature difference is known as the temperature difference, right? Now I will just make you to understand the pressure gradient. The pressure gradient, again, it is talking about the pressure gradient. Pressure gradient means what? Again, the difference between pressure means the line joining of different pressures. So it draws the pressure gradient line. What it is showing? It is showing that the difference between the pressure, at the same time difference between the temperature are represented by the temperature gradient, and the pressure is represented by the pressure gradient. I think you have understand this basic concept. So this is the basic difference which created the local wind. This is the basic system which creates the local wind. First of all, as you know, because the wind which is flowing, the flow of wind is carried by the two things, that is high pressure to low pressure. If the wind is flowing from high pressure to low pressure area, and in a horizontal motion, then it will be known as the wind, right? If the air, the wind means air is moving vertically, then it is known as the air current, right? So what it is indicating? It is indicating that there is a role of pressure system, and this pressure system is being pushed by the temperature of that particular area. Suppose there is a surface area, this is a surface. This surface area is having cold. This surface area has become cold. It means what? It means that this surface having the air, and the composition of air is dust particle, gases, and water vapor. These are the three composition of the air, and it is found at the surface which is cold. It means the air will be heavy. How it will become heavy? Just imagine, in the cold season, the water vapor will be changed into the frost, right? So in this way, it will exert the pressure. When it will exert the pressure, then there will be high pressure. I'm just telling you the basic assumption of how the air high pressure and low pressure is formed, right? There is another I will explain you how it works. Just wait a moment. Just imagine there is a surface area, and here it is warm. And how the warm is created? Due to the sun. When the sun's insolation is absorbed by the surface area, the air which is found at the surface area will be lightened. How it is going to lighten? Because again the composition of air is there. In composition of air there will be water vapor, and this water vapor, due to the sun's insolation, it will evaporated. Due to the evaporation, this evaporation will lose the weight. It means there will be low pressure, and here you got the high pressure. Means the movement of air from high pressure to low in this direction will be known as wind, horizontal motion. And here I just given you the example, vertically it will be known as a air current, right? So this is the basic concept which I am just telling you. Now we'll move towards our own the question. What are the factors? Now we'll talk about the factors. What are the factors? So first factor, first cause. First cause was the temperature gradient. Second cause will be pressure gradient. Third cause will be the topography. What is the topography? Topography means the surface structure, how it looks like. Means mountains, plateaus, plain, trenches, hill, right? So these all will make the topography of that particular region. Okay, if any region which is having mountain, then there is a topography will be mountainous regions, right? Means the terrain of the particular region will be vary from one topography to another topography. I am just giving you the example. Just imagine about the North India. North India having the Himalayan mountain, right? If we go to the Rajasthan, you will get the desertic area. If you go to the northern plain, you will get the plain area. If you go to the peninsular region, you will get the plateau regions, right? If you go to the western part of the peninsular India, you will get the western hills, right? So in this way, you will get the different topography, different region. So these are the three factors which I earlier explained you: temperature gradient, pressure gradient, and the next is the topography, which impacted the entire origination of the local winds, right? Earlier, which we discussed how the entire prevailing wind or permanent wind are working. Those were the trade wind, westerlies, and the polar easterlies were there. So there were the surface wind, which are the planetary winds, and those winds are permanently moving, right? Few are the seasonal wind. The seasonal winds are the monsoonal wind. They are also coming in a particular season and then they goes away. So here the question which has been asked from the local winds are actually generated by the local factors. So when we talk about the local factors, these local factors are the localized temperature gradient, localized pressure gradient, and the localized topography. So these are the three major factors which are responsible for the making of the local winds, right? I think you have got the gist of this question. Few other factors are also responsible, like the difference between the rural and urban. Rural versus urban atmosphere. See, the rural areas are confined with the agricultural land. They are confined with the trees. They are confined with the grasses, and they are confined with the houses which are not tall. So in this way, you will not find much of the developmental areas. You will not find the sky rising, the buildings. So the rural areas atmosphere will be different. If you compare with the urban climate, urban atmospheric system, you will find the pollution. You will find sky rise building, right? You will find the agents, polluting agents, right? So these are the factors which are responsible for the urban atmosphere. That is why urban atmosphere is also they are creating the urban heat. So again, urban heat is a localized phenomena, right? If particular area which has been urbanized, so it will gain the localized phenomena. It means it is going to become the cause of the local wind, right? So I suppose you have cleared all the factors which are responsible for the origin of the local winds, right? Now we'll talk about the second part of the discuss their significance on prevailing weather and climate in various regions with suitable examples. How the significance, how their significance on prevailing weather and climate, means whatever the climatic conditions or prevailing weather conditions are there in a particular region, how it is significance. So we are going to prove it by the some examples, and these examples you will get it from some localized wind. So we'll talk about the local wind first. What are the local winds? The local winds you will get of two types: warm wind and cold wind. Warm wind and cold wind. So these are the few types of the warm wind and cold winds. If we move for the what are the local winds, warm winds. So first of all, I'll just write down what are the winds. See, first warm wind is known as the Lu. Next you will see the Fohn, right? Lu you will find in India. Fohn is in France. Then Chinook you will get in USA, or say North America, right? Few other winds are there which are also responsible for the as a local wind, like Sirocco. They are also the they are found in the northern Africa, right? Sirocco. Then there is another the wind which is also known as Harmattan. It is again in northern Africa. Few others are there, like black roller. That black roller is also found in the northern America, in the plain area. So these are the warm wind which I just given you the example of it. Now we'll just give you the example of the cold wind, that is Mistral. The Mistral is found in the Europe. It is found in Europe. Mistral. Another we can talk about the Bora. Bora is also known as a Boran, means it is found in the Middle Europe. Similarly, few other cold winds are also prevailing in Switzerland, that is known as Zoran. It is found at the Jura mountain, so it means Switzerland, right? So they are found in Zoran, means Switzerland. Few are also there, like I can remember the Blizzard. So blizzard are found in the Siberian region in the Canada, America, and Russia. So they are prevalent in the in this region: Canada, Russia, USA, Canada. Especially they are found in these regions. So why I had given you the detail of the warm wind and cold wind, I'll just explain you, because the nature of question which is asking the significance on prevailing weather and climate in various regions with suitable example. So I had given you multiple examples, because if you remember 2 or 3 of them, you can write the answer perfectly, right? So I'm going to discuss you most of the winds which are important, which are significant to change the weather and climatic conditions, right? So first of all, we'll talk about the Lu. So the Lu is prevalent in especially India and Pakistan during this summer season. If you see during the June, July, you will get the you will be feeling the Lu. And in this season, if in this area, how the Lu is significance? See, the significance of the Lu means, if you see the map, their insolation are in this particular region, like this, and most of the heat heat is found in this particular area, right? Due to the insolation which are coming this area will heat this region, and you know very well, in 21st June the sun is at Cancer. Sun is at Cancer line, right? So that is why the Lu is very much prevalent in during the June month. How this Lu is important for the Indian climate. Suppose the Indian climatic system is based on the monsoon, the seasonal windfall, seasonal system of the wind which brings the rainfall in India. Whenever the Lu is prevalent in the northern part of India, when the, if I am just making a map, in this particular area, you will see the impact of Lu, and this Lu, this heating is important to fetch the moist driven wind from the Indian Ocean. So the significance of Lu is it is important to fetch the moist driven wind from the Indian Ocean towards the northern part. Second, Lu is also helping to mature the mango. Means in northern part of India you will find the mango, so they are also helping to more ripening, right? So these are the two benefits, but the second we'll talk about the negative point of it. Lu, which is when the temperature goes above 40 to 44 45 degrees Celsius, then the Lu is very much prevalent in the northern part of India, and it creates a severe problem of the heat stroke. It is also making the people fall ill, right? So these are the also negative point of the Lu, which whenever it means brought into this area, it creates a problem, right? So most of the people during the noon timing, they are hiding their face if they are coming out of their houses or the business houses, or they will be residing in their homes. It means what? It means during the daytime, during the peak time of the noon time, there will be no work. So again, when the harsh impact of the Lu is also impacting the economy of the region, right? So this is the impact of the Lu. Now we'll talk about the Foehn. The Foehn is prevalent in France. The Foehn is prevalent in France. See. The Foehn, which is found, if I'll making a diagram of Europe, here is the presence of Alps. Here is the presence of Alps, and at Alps the Foehn is again here when the temperature increases by 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, when the temperature increased by the 15 up to the 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, then the glaciation will be thawing, means ice will be melted here. Due to the melting of the ice, when the Foehn moves, then it melted the ice from this particular area. So this particular area will be creating a plain part, and this plain part will be good for the grassland. And this grassland is required for the mulching animal, for the rearing of the animal. So Foehn is good for the rearing of animal, right? Also, it also gives good crop for grapes. because you know the European countries, especially up to the Mediterranean countries, they are good in making of the liquor, and these liquor are made up of the citrus fruits, and in citrus fruits there is a one important fruit is the grapes, right? So now we'll talk about the how the phloem is significant part which is played is they are good for the rearing of the animal because they are giving the grasslands. They are also good for the grapes. It means they are going to boost the economy in the form of liquor manufacturing, right? Now we'll talk about the Chinook. Now we'll talk about the Chinook. There is a case study about the Chinook, how the Chinook is good for the or bad for the USA, means North India especially. So if you see this particular region, it is known as the Rockies. It is known as the Rockies caldera or Rockies mountain range. So in this mountain range, here are the Five Fingers Lake, and this is the part where the prairie grassland is found. Prairie grassland is found. It means how Chinook is playing an important part, significant part in creating the prairie region. See, when Chinook is flowing from the top of the hills mountains, they are just eating the mountains because these winds are the warm winds. So when it flows from the top of the mountain, then it melt the ice which was frozen during the winter season. So due to the melting of the ice, this region will create again a region which is going to be like a semi-arid and which is going to good for the grassland. Right? It means what? It means this grassland like good for the animal rearing, and when the animal rearing will be having, then you will get the milk, you will get the meat, right? At the same time, they are also good for the wheat production. They are good for the wheat production. So how it is significant means they are going to help you in the animal rearing, they are going to help you in the wheat production, right? Now we'll talk about the Sirocco. Sirocco is a warm wind which is very harsh, which is harsh in the northern African part, and these northern African wind are again moving ahead to the Mediterranean Sea, and again it is creating a problem for the Mediterranean European countries as well. Means if you are see, and here is the Africa. Here is Africa. So when it is a Sahara, so wind blows from here to this direction in this way. So these are the warm wind, high temperature, and they're dusty. So when it blows, then it is creating a problem for these regions. So the Sirocco is a problem for the Mediterranean European countries. Okay. So again, the significance of the local winds. Now how these significance means how these local winds are creating a problem for these region. Right? They are moving from this region and they are creating a problem for European. But But at the same time, they are good for these reasons. They are good for the further part in this. Okay. Now we'll talk about the Harmattan. Harmattan is also known as the doctor wind. The Harmattan is also known as the doctor wind. It is also known as the doctor Guinea. Okay, right? Doctor Guinea. How it blows? It blows in this direction. See, it blows in this direction, like this. In this direction, from northeast. So when it was not blowing, so that time this entire western part of Africa, was chilling. They are getting heat strokes, and at the same time they are getting the moist environment. Due to the moist, the people are very much, in the problematic conditions, how this humidity will remove. Then there is a Harmattan started moving from the northeastern part, and it gives this Harmattan is dry and moist free. So when it moves, it absorbs these moisture or the humidity, and it gives a soothing effect to this region. Right? That is why when the people get a soothing effect from the Harmattan, that is why it is known as the doctor wind. Right? So this is the significance of the Harmattan. Okay. Next is the black roller. The black roller is again a warm wind, and this black roller wind is prevalent in the Northern America's middle plain area. Means it is found in the plain area of the North America, and it is also significant in the Northern American plain area for their agriculture and for the developmental aspect. Now we'll talk about the cold wind. How the local winds in the form of cold wind are significant for the prevailing weather and climatic conditions, and also it is going to good for the economic conditions, because when the Mistral moves in Europe, it again created the frost condition. It created the frost condition in the Alps area. Means it gives the glaciation. It means gives the ice. It means it frosts the Alps region, right? And also created a very picturesque the environment that attracts the tourism. Okay, so in this way the significance of the Mistral is there. Now we talk about the Bora. The Bora is also known as the Boran. Means it is prevalent in the Middle Europe, and in Middle Europe you will found the Bora. So they are also significant in the part of the Middle European region, and how they are creating the weathers be freezing. The entire Middle Europe will be freezed. So this is the effect of the Bora. The next is the Joran. The Joran is also prevalent at the at the mountain, that is Jora, and due to the Jora, it is known as Joran. So this wind is significant in this Joran region. That is why Switzerland is also known as the heaven of the world, because the Joran brings the cold wind, and it brings the ice, it brings the glaciers, it brings the snow in this particular region. That is why it is creating a very soothing environment for the tourism sector. It means the local wind in the form of Joran, it giving the boost to the tourism, right? Now we'll talk about the blizzard. how blizzard is, prevalent in the regions of the North America, especially in Siberian region in Russia, right? So blizzard, if you see the globe, it is found in this particular area, and in this area you will see the America, Canada, you will see North America, especially USA, you will see Canada. Here you will get the Russia in a big country, in the name of the big country. So these are the three big countries which you will see in this region. And the blizzard is a type of snow forming wind. It frost entire region. Whenever the blizzard is coming, I'll again just giving the example of the America, especially North America. See, whenever blizzard, this is the mountain Rockies, when blizzard is coming, sometimes this blizzard is also moves towards up to the American main part, and this blizzard, they are creating a snow effect, and this snow effect frozen the entire region. Even that time, most of the Five Fingers Lake, they are also got frozen. The total, the working condition, the people which are moving, they all has been, stopped. So the significance of blizzard is that it impact the entire movement of the people. It also impact the economic conditions. So it hits hard to the North American part, especially in these regions. Also, it impacted the Russian region, which is in Siberian part. So due to the when we study the local wind, so the local wind have so many significance. It impacted the prevailing weather, also impacted the climatic conditions. Whenever these winds are moving, whenever these winds are following, they create a problem. Sometimes they create a good impact for the economy. Both the figures you will get by the local winds. So I suppose I had given you the causes of the local wind, how the local winds has been evolved. The local winds have evolved by the temperature gradient, pressure gradient, the topography, and the rural and urban, the factors. In that factors, the pollution is also an important factors. Then we talked about the significance of prevailing wind. So I just explained you how the prevailing wind plays an important role in the formation of the particular region, how it is also impacting the climatic conditions, how it is impacting the economic conditions, right? So I suppose you have got the idea how to write this answer, how to approach this question. So thank you very much.